Okay, good morning, Pragya. Good morning, Priyanshu. Okay, so I hope you are getting my voice clearly, voice and video clearly. If you are getting my voice clearly, please message yes. This is the second day. Students, I mean paid students, they used our website. They studied the material available in the website. They watched the recorded video classes also the live class, and they completed the assigned exam. Yesterday I told you to attend test one, fundamental of nursing test one. I told you to attend. I hope you people have attended that exam also. So many students send me the screenshot of their exam. Like I told you to come do the exam maximum time, like 3 to 4 times, same exam 3 to 4 times till you get 100% mark in that. So you will attend the exam, you will check the answer key, again you will attend the same exam. So when you do 3 to 4 times same exam, that questions will be in your mind and never forget. Okay. Sometimes some questions, when you see that questions, you are not able to understand the concept and you don't know. Sometimes you have to buy heart things like that sometimes, but we will try to cover almost all the important topics. Then I will give you one tip. Today I will give you one tip. Like, okay, the exam is going to come within 1 month. Many students, they are thinking that I didn't prepare very well. I didn't start the preparation earlier, so only 1 month is left in front of me. So whatever it is, see, the important thing when you prepare for this kind of competitive exam, to crack this exam, the main thing is that you have to study the important topics, important concept. Why means 80% of the questions of any competitive exam, 80% of the questions will come from these important topics or regularly asking topics. Okay, so that's why we are telling you to cover the important topics. No need to study everything in detail, line by line, page by page. No, you cannot cover, you cannot study all the concept in the nursing field or in the medical field. But you should know the important concept. That's why we are taking in crash course, we are covering all the important topics. So in coming classes also, you will get all the important topics, because I told you 80% of the questions, 80% of the questions are coming from these important topics and previously asking topics, or previously asking questions, or repeatedly asking questions. So if you can cover that thing, 80% you can finish. So 1 month is enough to cover these things. Okay. So first one, study important topics. Second one is practice maximum exams, like model exams or mock test. Maximum. This is the second thing. Okay, practice maximum. So yesterday I told you to practice one exam. Today also I will give you one exam, but in coming days I will give you 1 day 2 exams, 3 exams. Okay, like that. So maximum question we will cover. And third important thing is, um, I told you to study, or I'm giving study material. You are also making some notes when I'm taking class. Um, then important topics. I'm covering important topics, but important thing that before exam you have to revise these things again and again. So if you are attending today's class, after attending this class, or while you attend the class, you will make some notes. So these things you have to read. You have to read today, or now itself we will study, and you have to read it, and you have to read it later. Later means after 1 week, again you read it. So it will not take that much time to read that thing. It will take only 10 minutes because short notes. But you have to read it, and you have to read it before exam also. Otherwise, you will forget this important concept. Okay, yesterday also I told you a lot of things like this, the importance of revision and importance of studying this important um, topic. So it is very easy to crack. It is very easy to crack if you follow this way. If you follow this way, like studying important topics and maximum mock test, attending maximum mock test. Okay, so those who are watching me live and those who are going to watch me recorded class also. Neuron Nursing Academy is providing, this is a demo class. You can take it as a demo class, but Neuron Nursing Academy is providing crash course as well as complete course. Okay, so crash course for the coming Aiims Norcet. You can join our crash course till Aiims Norcet. Almost more than 1 month, there will be classes for you. Daily live class will be there, and these class, if you are not available to watch live class, recorded class will be available. We will provide you lot of model exams, study material, all the guidance we will provide you. So if those people who would like to join our crash course, you can message me on my WhatsApp number 735618280, or you can visit Neuron Nursing Academy website, that is www.neuronnursingacademy.com. Okay, so we will start the class. Mousmi, good morning. Okay, so a lot of students, they may be on duty, so they can watch later, or a lot of students are watching me from our website platform also. Okay, so we will start the class. Okay, right. So today we will discuss vital signs. Vital signs, otherwise called as cardinal signs, right? Vital signs, otherwise called as cardinal signs. One question definitely asked from here. Okay. So what are the vital signs? Easy. I'll go fast. Temperature, pulse, saturation, BP, O2 saturation, pain. Okay, pain. Pain is considered as the sixth vital sign. Okay, so pain is considered as the sixth vital signs. Temperature, pulse, respiration, BP, oxygen saturation, pain, and in new research, new vital signs are going to come. But at least you study temperature, pulse, respiration, BP, O2 saturation, pain. Pain is called as the sixth vital sign. Okay, now we will discuss about what temperature. I'll go fast because it's an easy topic, because we have to cover a lot of things, right? Okay, normal temperature. What is the normal temperature? Okay, so I tell you the normal temperature as oral. Okay, like a normal temperature, oral temperature, I'm telling 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. This is oral. Okay, oral temperature, I'm telling. Okay, suppose if you're taking a rectal temperature, the normal rectal temperature is 99.6 degree Fahrenheit. So rectal is more, 1 degree Fahrenheit more rectal, right? So here this is the oral, then rectal is 1 degree Fahrenheit more, then comes axilla. Okay. 1 degree Fahrenheit or 0.6 degrees Celsius higher than normal temperature. Okay, don't get confused. Then axillary temperature 97.6 degree Fahrenheit means 1 degree Fahrenheit or 0.6 degrees Celsius less. So if I tell you this is the axillary temperature, then comes oral temperature, then comes rectal temperature. So start from axillary temperature is 97.6 only, oral temperature is 98.6, then rectal temperature is 99.6. That's why when we take temperature, if you are using axillary temperature, taking axillary temperature, you will add 1. If you are taking a rectal temperature, you will minus 1. When you take oral temperature, no need to, you can use it as such. Okay, got this point, right? Got this point. Very easy only, but in exam times, people may get confused, or they will think, oh, this is an easy question. And suddenly they will answer and they will make mistakes. People will make mistake on easy questions. So which is higher, which is lower, all those things you have to. So if I write here, so I will write with the here. If this is the axillary, then comes oral, then comes rectal. Okay, okay, like this. Axillary, oral, rectal. Difference is 1 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, I think you got. Most reliable method of taking temperature. Most reliable method of taking temperature. If somebody asks you, you have to answer. So you have to answer rectal method. What is the most reliable method of taking temperature? It's rectal method, rectal temperature. Okay, next comes conversion. So question may ask you like convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. They will give you a temperature in Fahrenheit, and they will ask you to convert it into Celsius. Convert it into Celsius. So the formula is for converting Fahrenheit to Celsius. I am telling Fahrenheit to Celsius. So the formula is Celsius, right? C equal to F minus 32. You have to put this bracket, okay, into 5 by 9. You have to put this bracket, okay, otherwise you will make mistakes. Otherwise you will make mistake. Suppose I am telling you convert 100-degree Fahrenheit, 100-degree Fahrenheit, convert 100-degree Fahrenheit to Celsius. So what you will do, simply you will put the, okay, C equal to F minus what? 100 minus 32. Then you will put this bracket and 5 by 9. So when you do this calculation, you will get. So first you have to do what? Minus 32 from 100. Minus 32 from 100. So you will get like 68, right? 68. 68 into 5 by 9. When you do, you will get the answer. Okay, I'm not going to do the calculation. Take time, that's all. So you got. So many students they will make mistakes. Two mistakes they will make in this kind of questions. One, they will forget the they will forget the formula. They will write F minus 32 into 9 by 5. They will write C by like that. Okay. So first thing is you have to write the formula properly. You will feel that it's an easy one. You will feel that it's an easy one, but you may make mistake. Okay. So don't make mistake. Next mistake what they are doing when they do the calculation. So that's why I told you put these brackets, because sometimes first you have to minus these things from 100. You have to minus 32. After that only you can multiply. Some people what they will do, they will multiply first, then they will subtract or minus. So the answer will be wrong. Okay, so formula should be correct, then calculation also should be correct. Otherwise the answer will be wrong, then they will not going to give you mark if you are writing the steps and no way to write the steps, but nobody is going to give you mark. Convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Next is convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So they may tell you, okay, 40 degrees Celsius, degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, convert to Fahrenheit. So what is the formula? So you will write F equal to C into 9 by 5. Then you put this in bracket. Then plus 30. Okay. C into 9 by 5 plus 32. So what is C? C is 40 degree into 9 by 5 plus 32. So 32 plus 32. When you do the calculation, just forget calculation, but I'm telling you the formula F minus F equal to C into 9 by 5 bracket, all bracket plus 32. Okay. Simple topics, simple question, frequently asking questions, but many students used to make. When I'm checking them, there I can check in online also. I can check the result or sheet. So even question by question I can check. So I have seen many students are making uh, uh, um, mistakes on these kind of simple points. Okay. Next, way of losing heat. Okay. So from our body, the heat is losing. Okay. Normally, in your body, heat is producing because of different mechanism. Heat is producing at the same time. Heat is losing also. Same time, heat is losing also. So it should be in a balance. The heat produced and heat loss, it should be in balance. If heat produced more and heat losing is less, means your temperature will be high, then you can call it as like you are having pyrexia or fever. So heat producing and heat losing from your body should be balanced. If more heat is produced and less heat loose, then you will have hyperthermia. If less heat produced and more heat is losing from your body, then you will go for hypothermia. So there are different mechanisms of losing heat from your body. The first one is conduction. First one is conduction. What is conduction? Conduction is transfer of heat from hot object to cold object when both object comes in contact. So simply, the one hot object is there and there is a cold object, and when those objects comes in contact, they comes in contact. Very important. In conduction, they will come in contact. So heat from hot object to cold object, it will transfer. So that is one way. Same way, I can tell you, when I'm getting fever, I'm having fever, I'm using cold sponge or cold sponge or something, I'm applying. So what will happen? Or I'm applying, I am putting some cold or soaked cloth on my forehead, axilla, wherever it is. So from my body, that heat will transfer to this cloth or sponge. So this is one kind of conduction. So, or when I touch any cold place from my body, the fever will, or sorry, the temperature will transfer. Okay, heat will transfer. So that is conduction. Convection. What is convection? Convection means heat transferred through air. So through air. So if my body heat is transferring through air to the nearby air, it is transferring. One example is infant incubator. You know what is infant incubator? You know incubator, right? Incubator is based on convection principle, because the surrounding, the heat is transferred through the air. Heat is transferred through the air. Okay. Here the baby is not in touch with anything, but the heat is transferred through the air. Okay, so convection. So incubator is based on, infant incubator is based on convection principle. Don't get confused. Here heat is transferred through the surrounding air. Radiation. Radiation means transfer of heat from hot object to cold object when objects are not in contact. Here no objects are in contact. So one object is here, other object is there. So from this object, heat is transferring to this object, like infrared. I can say infrared by radiation. Radiation. They are not in touch, but still they can transfer heat by using radiation. Okay, by using radiation. The evaporation. Evaporation means when liquid becomes vapor. You can see that you know like in seawater, because of heat, because of heat, vapor will produce. So when heat will become, or when one liquid will become vapor, through vapor, it's called evaporation. Heat can transfer. Example, in our body, sweating. So sweating means like there will be liquids, no, fluid. I mean, our body will be wet, sweat will be there. So through vapor, the heat is transferring. So conduction, I told you, that is during conduction, objects are in contact. Convection, through air. Radiation, they are not in contact but using radiations. And evaporation, when the heat occur, when liquid becomes vapor. Okay. This image you can see, this is incubator, because image based questions also coming. So we will be adding more image based questions in the test series. Don't worry, in the coming days we will add. Already there is image based questions, and more image based questions will be added. Incubator. Okay, this is incubator, this is a radiant warmer. Okay, incubator, and this is radiant warmer. Don't get confused. Okay, this is incubator, is radiant warmer. Before going to different type of pyrexia, I just want to tell you um, 2 3 points. Like sequence of taking vital signs. The sequence of taking vital signs. When you take a vital signs of an adult, normally how we will take? We will take temperature, right? Take temperature, then pulse, then respiration, right? Then BP, all those things. Temperature, pulse, respiration in adult. But if you take in infant, in case of infant, how you will take? In infant, we will take the check the respiration first, then pulse, then take temperature. Because in infant, maybe the baby is calm and quiet. So if you go and take the temperature first, then baby will cry, baby will become restless. So then you cannot count the heart rate, or then you cannot take the respiration properly. Because if you are telling the infant be quiet, infant cannot understand, right? So the sequence for taking vital signs in infant is different, and in adult temperature, pulse, respiration. What out is no problem. But in infant, what is that? Respiration, respiration, pulse, and temperature. Okay. Those people who are watching live now, please share or like our video, or you can share the link to your friends in your group, your nursing group. Maybe it would be helpful. It would be helpful for them also. Okay. So we are covering the important topics. Okay. Now, okay, one more thing. Um, uh, when you take temperature, when you check temperature, you are using a glass thermometer. Example, if you are using a glass thermometer, so how you will clean the thermometer? How you will clean the thermometer? So for a thermometer, there is a two part I can say. One is bulb and one is stem. Bulb means those area where you can see like the mercury endo. Okay, mercury endo. That is called as bulb. Or a bulb is that is the part which you kept inside mouth or inside axilla, wherever it is. Okay. So the bulb means the part which, suppose if this is a thermometer, I don't know if you can see this one. Okay, if this is thermometer, so if I am keeping this on my axilla, okay, so this the bulb, the part or mercury part, or the part which I keep inside or axilla or wherever it is, bulb, and this part is called stem. Okay, so before putting this glass thermometer in the axilla or in oral or rectal, wherever it is, you have to clean. First, you have to clean. So it may be in a bottle, it may be in a glass bottle. You have to take it outside. Then, when you clean, you have to clean from the bulb to stem, because it was inside the glass bottle of a solution, a disinfectant solution. So when you take it outside, this part is very clean compared to this part is very clean. So from here you will wipe, because less contaminated bulb is less contaminated. So from less contaminated to more contaminated you will wipe. When before checking temperature, I mean after taking from the glass bottle, before putting in the axilla, you will clean, no, right? And you took the temperature, you checked the temperature, then also you have to clean, right? After checking the temperature also, you have to clean. Then how you will clean? Then you will clean from the stem to bulb, because now now if I put this thermometer on axilla, now what will become? This area is more contaminated and this area is less contaminated. So I will clean from less contaminated to more contaminated. Okay, from here to here. So before taking temperature, I will start from bulb to stem. After taking temperature, I will clean from stem to bulb. You should know these things. Okay. Now, different types of pyrexia. Different types of pyrexia. Feel free to ask doubts. Okay, no problem. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask doubts. You can if I want to repeat any points, just tell me. Or otherwise, after watching this class, also you can watch this again and again. This recorded video also you can. Or if you have a doubt, you can comment. You can comment in the comment section. Those people who are watching yesterday. So many students they messaged me for going to this topic. Yesterday, so many students they messaged me and they told me that they are in fear, they are in tension, they don't know they can be they can complete the top I mean, study. They can um, like attend the exam properly. They are in tension. No need of any tension. Take it as a challenge. Try your best. Definitely you will get. Because for Aims, huge vacancies are there. For some people, without preparation, if you go, you may get. Okay, but I don't recommend it. Study, you study and go. Why do you want to take coaching? Why do you want to attend these type of classes? Means I know that you people are working hospital or in any other settings, so you are not getting enough time to search the important points, important topics, search different books, collect all the important points, then study. It will take more time. So we are doing that job for you. We are collecting the important topics. See, here I am not giving you the like all the content. So if I am giving all the content, if I'm giving you all the points, everything in medical surgical, like Brunner or any Lewis, any other books, so better you can read that book. No, my duty is that to take the important points from these kind of books and to deliver you, so that your duty will be reduced. For you, just read it, just study it. No need to search here and here because you don't have time. If you have time, you can refer, but you don't have time for reference. So that's why we are telling you to join coaching. So you will get to which are all the important topics, important points, all those things. Okay, okay. So we will go to the types of pyrexia. Very, very important. One question definitely it will come from there. Types of pyrexia, mild pyrexia. Okay, you have to by heart it. From 99 to 100 degree. Okay, normally above 99 degrees Celsius, degree Fahrenheit. Okay, normally above 99 degree Fahrenheit, we will call it as fever or pyrexia. What is the meaning of fever? Sorry, pyrexia. Pyrexia is a Greek word and the meaning is fire. Okay, pyrexia meaning is fire. Then febrile. Febrile also Greek word. We will tell febrile. If somebody is having fever, we will tell febrile. Febrile means it's also a Greek word. The meaning is fever. Okay. So 99 to 100 degree Fahrenheit, we will call it as mild pyrexia. Hearted. Okay, no other way. Mild pyrexia. Next, moderate pyrexia. 100 to 100 to 100 to 103, called as mild pyrexia. I will just go fast. Severe pyrexia, 103 to 105 degree pyrexia. Hyperpyrexia. If you cannot remember all those things, at least study this hyperpyrexia. Okay, hyperpyrexia above 105 degree Fahrenheit. Hyperpyrexia above 105 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, right. Next, phases of fever. Phases of fever. So when you get fever, when you get pyrexia, there are mainly there is three phases are there. Three phases. You have to understand the phases because sometimes the question they may ask you, but very easy only, very easy only. If you see this class, if you see this slide, then if you read one time and if you do a revision, like maybe it will take only 2 seconds, you will be able to remember. Okay, so the first stage or first phase is onset, onset or invasion, onset or invasion. So this is the starting of the fever. Then fastigium or stadium. Fastigium means The fever is increasing and reaching the highest level. So fever started. Now second is fast GM or stadium, means it will reach the maximum level and it will remain there. Okay, maximum fever, then it will remain there. Then the last one is defervescence or decline. It means the fever is reducing now. Okay, so started, increased to maximum point, then now it is declining. Defervescence or decline. So these word you have to remember. These word you have to remember. These are the phases of fever. Studied? Easy? Now comes the important parts, important points. Here you have to use your concept, you have to use your memory power. Somehow you have to correlate these things with anything. Okay, just relate and study. Relate and study, because important points, very difficult. It may be difficult, but do your maximum here. Okay, rigor, telling types of fever, rigor. So rigor means normally sudden rise in temperature with shivering. This I think all of you know. What is a rigor? What is a rigor? Sudden rise. Okay, the patient temperature increased suddenly with shivering. This is called as rigor. Example, or it mainly seen in malaria. Mainly seen in malaria. So, okay, first point. Second, what is lysis? In temperature, what is lysis? Temperature fall in zigzag manner. What is zigzag manner? Zigzag manner means like this. Temperature like this. Temperature fall in zigzag manner. So that is called lysis. So they may ask you, temperature fall in zigzag manner is called as known as lysis. Rigor, sudden rise in temperature with shivering is called as rigor. So in rigor, temperature is increasing. In lysis, suddenly the temperature is falling. Zigzag manner, it is falling. Then crisis. Crisis means sudden change of temperature from high to normal. So your temperature was high, then suddenly it became normal. This is called crisis. Your temperature was normal, suddenly it increased with shivering, rigor, connected with malaria. Okay. Sudden change of temperature from high to normal, suddenly it's changed. It's called crisis. And in some cases, your fever was high and suddenly it became normal. Still, your condition, your health condition, or other things are not normal. Normally when our fever become normal, our health will improve, or health status will become normal. But in some situation your fever reduced, fever became normal, still your health condition is not good, or if the health condition is bad like before, it is called false crisis. False crisis. So what is crisis? Crisis means high to normal, suddenly high to normal. But if your temperature became normal, from high it became normal, still, uh, if you think that the condition of the health condition is not improved, means it's called as false crisis. So rigor crisis. Lysis, I told you, temperature is reducing, but it is falling in a zigzag manner, not suddenly, step by step, zigzag manner. It is called lysis. Mausmi asked here phases of fever. Okay, I will tell you phases of fever. I told you three phases: onset or invasion. Onset or invasion means starting of fever. Okay, fever is going to start. So this phase is called as onset. Second is fastigium or stadium, which means that now the fever increased, started, then it increased to a maximum point. Now it will remain at its maximum point for some time. That is called stadium or fastigium. After that, the fever will go down, decline, or devivificence. It is called as Decline or DFSNS means the fever is decreasing. The fever is decreasing. Okay. So here I told lysis, crisis. Next, continuous fever. So I hope you understood what is crisis, lysis, and rigor. Three things you understood. Okay. So if you read one time, you will be able to present, right? You can remember also. Easy. Okay. Now, constant fever or continuous fever. From the name itself, if you hear the name continuous or constant, what idea is coming to your mind? Idea is that temperature is always there. Continuously, if I am having temperature, cold continuous fever, or I am having temperature constantly, that idea is coming to your mind. So we will see it in a clear way, specifically. Temperature variation between morning and evening is not more than 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, so here you are having temperature. Your temperature is not normal. You are having temperature. Morning, if I check, you have fever. Temperature in the sense fever. When I check temperature in the morning, you have fever. When I check temperature in the evening, you have fever. So constantly you have fever, and the difference when I check in the morning and when I check in the evening, difference between the temperature is not more than 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, so constant fever. So constant fever or continuous fever means you are always having fever. Continuously you are having fever. Morning also you have fever. Evening of also you are having fever. And but the temperature difference when I check morning temperature and then I check when I check temperature evening, when I compare, the difference is not more than 2 degrees Celsius. That is the peculiarity or uh, specification of continuous fever. So if I am telling you continuous fever or constant fever, in your mind, first point, okay, continuous fever, it means all the time there will be morning there is fever, fever, evening there is fever. Okay, but the difference between morning's fever, morning temperature and evening temperature will not be more than 2 degrees Celsius. Okay? So I think if you relate like this, easily you can understand. Right? Pinky Giri, good morning. Example. This is another important thing that you have to by heart. In lobar pneumonia, or at least remember pneumonia. Pneumonia, urinary tract infection, you can see this kind of fever. So constant fever, continuous fever can be seen in lobar pneumonia, UTI. Lobar pneumonia, UTI. Okay, this thing you have to study now. Then after this class also you have to read. Then you have to read after 1 week and before exam also. Then you will be able to remember. Otherwise, you will study all those things and you are not going. If you are not able to revise before exam, then no use of attending this class, no use of studying, no use of time. Okay. Oh, a remittent fever. Next comes remittent fever. Here also, fever is there. Morning also fever, evening also fever, night also fever. All the time there is fever. And but if you check the temperature difference, like morning temperature and evening temperature, the difference between the temperature will be more than 2 degrees Celsius. So it's called as remittent. You got exactly opposite of constant fever. Remittent fever exactly opposite to constant or continuous fever. Like that you study. Constant or continuous fever exactly opposite remittent fever. Here also fever does not reach normal. Fever will not become normal. You will be having fever, but the difference between morning and evening fever will be more than 2 degrees Celsius. And you can see it in typhoid fever, viral upper respiratory tract infection. I just remember typhoid fever. So typhoid fever for remittent, lobar pneumonia or UTI for constant or continuous fever, right? Okay. Next, intermittent. Intermittent. See the word intermittent means like episodes coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. That is intermittent. So in first remittent and continuous fever, I told you that fever will not become normal. But here, temperature coming and going. So temperature rise from normal to febrile and back at regular. So normal temperature, then patient will have fever, then it will become normal, then again patient will have fever, then patient will become normal. So there is an interval. So intermittent, like it's coming like intermittent, coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. So sometimes the interval, sometimes few hours, like you after 4 hours you will have fever, then after 4, then your fever will go, then again after 4 hours you will have fever, like every 4 hour, every 8 hour fever will come and go. Okay, or sometimes it may be like every alternative day, 1 day, 2 day. Okay, today you have fever, tomorrow no fever, again after the day after tomorrow you are having fever. Sometimes today you have fever, then after 3 days again you will get fever. Okay, you have fever today, then became normal, then after 3 days again fever is coming. Okay, you got like this. So intermittent. So depends upon the interval. Suppose every day fever is spikes every day. It's called as quotidian. Quotidian means fever. The interval is every day. Okay, every day. So fever coming, going. The next day fever coming, going. The next day fever coming and going. So every day its fever is coming and going means it's called quotidian. Okay, remember quotidian and plasmodium falciparum. Okay, you can see falciparum in that infection. Okay, you can see this kind of fever. Okay, don't get confused. When you hear the word intermittent, what should come to your mind? Intermittent, like episode, interval. Interval maybe few hours, sometimes 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. If every day fever coming and going, spikes means going and coming. Every day means called quotidian. Every alternative day, every alternative day. Today fever, tomorrow no fever, day after tomorrow fever. Every alternative day fever is coming means tertian. Okay, tertian. Then quartan, Quartan, quartan. Quartan means fever spikes every third day. Today fever and after 3 days again fever is coming. Okay, like malaria. Okay, so this is regular interval, every day, alternative day, and every third day. Very important this. Okay, now when I say continuous fever, constant fever, you know what is that. When I say um, intermittent fever, you know what is that. When I say intermittent fever, you know what is that. Next, inverse fever. Inverse. Fever mean inverse. High fever at morning than evening. So morning high fever, evening less fever. Inverse. Inverse means what? Like I can say opposite, inverse direction, inverse. Okay, inverse. Morning high, evening less. So that is called inverse fever. So from the word itself, you can understand inverse. These kind of things, if you by heart, you will forget. So relate and study. Okay, no need to study what types of fever, remittent, intermittent, all those. For competitive exam, no need to by heart like this. You should know in the option, if somebody is giving in option inverse fever, you should know what is inverse fever. If somebody is telling you remittent fever, you should know what is that. If somebody is asking you relapsing fever or continuous fever, you should know what is that. Okay, so if I tell you inverse fever, you know inverse fever means highest range of fever at morning, then going down. Hectic or swinging fever. Hectic or swinging fever. Swinging means what? Swinging. It's like jumping. Swinging fever. So inverse fever, I told you that highest range in morning and lowest range Suppose if the high point, if the difference between high point and low point, suppose morning I checked the fever, it was like 1 degree 5, and when I check a fever in the evening, it is 1 degree, 100 degree Fahrenheit. So if the difference between high point and low point is very, very great. So if the difference between high fever and low point fever is very, very great, we will tell hectic or singing fever. Hectic, from the word hectic, hectic in the sense like, difficult, difficult. You can say that it's difficult, like big, big. You know, hectic work, difficult work, or big work. Like that, hectic or swinging fever means when the difference between high, when you draw the TPR chart. In TPR chart, you will draw the fever, right? Temperature chart. In the temperature chart, you will draw temperature. Okay, 9 o'clock, this was the temperature. 10 o'clock, this was the temperature. 12 o'clock, this was the temperature. So when you check the highest point and lowest point, and if the difference is very, very great, then you can call it as swinging or hectic fever. Example, septicemia. In septicemia, you can see these things. Okay. Relapsing fever, brief period of febrile followed by 1 or more days of normal temperature. So relapsing in the sense becoming normal. Relapsing in the sense becoming normal. So brief period of febrile, you will have 3 4 days fever, 3 4 days fever. Then after that, 1 or more days of normal temperature. Okay, again fever coming, going and coming. Same like intermittent fever. Same like intermittent fever. Okay. So relapsing fever means brief period. Okay, for a short time or for a period there will be fever. After that, 1 or more days of normal temperature. It's like a intermittent fever. Okay. So relapsing fever. But the important thing you have to remember in Hodgkin lymphoma, you know what is Hodgkin lymphoma? No, don't worry, when we will discuss the oncology section, we will discuss Hodgkin lymphoma. So in Hodgkin lymphoma, there will be like fever. There will be fever. So in Hodgkin lymphoma, you can see relapsing fever just by heart. Relapsing fever can be seen in Hodgkin lymphoma. Okay, Hodgkin lymphoma, important point. And irregular fever. Irregular fever. From the name itself, irregular. There is no regularity. You cannot say when it will come. You cannot say when it will go, how it will come, how much degree it will come. Nothing you cannot predict. Okay, so it's irregular. So if you cannot classify fever, you can say it's like irregular fever. Patient is having irregular fever because you don't know the regularity. It's not coming regularly. When it is coming, you don't know anything, right? Okay. Low grade fever. Okay, from the name itself, you know that temperature remains, okay, daily, mainly in the evening. Okay, low grade. The fever, it will be like below 100 degrees Celsius. Low grade. Example TB. So why I put this point here means in TB, what kind of fever you can see? Low grade fever. In TB, you can see low grade fever. By heart it. TB, you can see low grade fever mainly in the evening. One more thing. Before I told you relapsing fever, Hodgkin lymphoma, right? Relapsing fever, Hodgkin lymphoma. If I say in specific term, this word you can remember or just note this word: Epstein fever. Epstein fever. So when you hear this word, don't get confused. Don't think that it's something big. Epstein fever. So whenever you hear the word Epstein fever, there are a lot of medical words associated with Epstein anomaly, all those things. So here it is Epstein fever. Epstein fever means temperature takes 3 days to rise. Temperature takes 3 days 3 days it will take to rise. Then there will be temperature for 3 days, remains 3 days. Then within 3 days it will reduce. Okay, so 3 days for temperature to rise, then remains high for 3 days. So 3 days, within 3 days the fever will reduce and fever will go, and the next 9 days there will not be any fever. There will not be any fever, and again same things will come. So 3 days for fever to come, 3 days to fever remains constant, then 3 days fever will reduce. Then for 9 days, no fever, again it will start. So you can see in Hodgkin lymphoma, pale Epstein fever. Before I told you relapsing fever, if I say in specific, pale Epstein fever, Hodgkin lymphoma. So just remember pale Epstein fever 9 days, like 3 3 3 then 9. 3 then 9 days. Hodgkin lymphoma. Okay, types of fever. And disinfection of thermometer. Dettol, if you are using Dettol, the solution concentration is 1:40 for 5 minutes. If you are using Savalon, 1:20 for 5 minutes. Isol and carbolic acid, 1:40 for 3 minutes. All the topics, all the things which I am telling you are important things. Okay, important things. Several times these kind of questions they have asked you, several times they have asked you. So these are important points. Never ever miss this. Pulse. So if you check the pulse, different points are there to take the pulse. Temporal pulse. If you check in temporal artery, you can take temporal pulse. Then radial artery, radial pulse. Carotid artery, carotid pulse. Brachial artery, brachial pulse. Then um, popliteal pulse or popliteal artery, then femoral artery, femoral pulse, dorsalis pedis. Okay, all those things. Okay, so these are different kind of pulse. So, but accurate assessment of pulse. I didn't tell apical pulse. Like, okay, apical pulse is there. Accurate assessment of pulse is apical pulse. Accurate assessment of pulse, apical pulse. So if you want to check accurate assessment of pulse, you have to check apical pulse. That's why in while giving digoxin and all, you will check apical pulse. You are not checking the radial pulse. You are checking apical pulse. Okay, pulse. Apical pulse. Where you will check the apical pulse? In the fifth intercostal. In the fifth left fifth intercostal space, midclavicular, left midclavicular intercostal space, fifth intercostal space for adult. When you check adult apical pulse, you will check in the fifth intercostal. Intercostal means left side. Okay. In infant or children below 6 years or below 4 years, we'll check in the fourth intercostal space. Fourth intercostal. So left side, left, fourth intercostal, and in the mid-clavicular line. Adult also mid-clavicular line. So fourth and fifth, fourth and fifth. Adult for adult, fifth, and infant, fourth. Pulse deficit. What is pulse deficit? Pulse deficit means difference between apical pulse and radial pulse. Apical pulse and radial pulse. Difference between apical pulse and radial pulse is called as pulse deficit, right? So in normal patient, in normal person, the pulse deficit, ideally it should be zero. Zero. Difference between apical pulse and radial pulse, ideally it should be zero. If there is a much difference, it says that there is a problem, mainly in the cardiovascular system. Paradoxical pulse. So different type of I'm talking about abnormal pulse. Okay. Paradoxical pulse. Paradoxical pulse means strength of the pulse decrease when patient takes breath. So whenever you hear the word paradoxical, your mind it should come like opposite action. Paradoxical movement, paradoxical movement, like that. Okay, so paradoxical pulse. When the word paradoxical comes to your mind, it should be like a opposite action. So here, what is strength of the pulse decrease? Strength of the pulse decrease when patient takes breath. When patient takes breath, the strength of the pulse is decreased. Example in asthma, pericarditis, cardiac tamponade, asthma, pericarditis, cardiac tamponade. Study maximum examples. If you cannot study all those things, study like okay, pericarditis or cardiac tamponade. Okay, paradoxical pulse. So these slides, these points, if you read one time, you will not be able to remember. You will forget. If you see these things again and again, for example, I have been taking this coaching classes for a long time. I have seen this, or I have been seeing these slides since 2018 or 17. Okay, long time. So I'm seeing every day, not every day, but different times. I'm seeing this thing. So it is like a image. It's like a photo in my mind. If you see these things again and again, it will be like an image or picture in your mind. Easily you can write, easily you can dream. So what I'm telling that you have to read it. Forget about by hearting all those things. If you can read it, you can read it many times. Just read it many times. When you go for duty, just read it. When you, that's why that's the use of our online coaching. Like no need to take you the big book with you. Okay, take your mobile. In mobile itself, you will get all these study material. You read it for 5 minutes. When you get a break, read it. On night duty, read it or watch some videos. When you travel, put headset and watch. When you do cooking, when you do some homework, I mean household work, that time put. So in different times you can use. Some students they told me that they don't have time to study after duty. They don't have time, they are tired, they don't have time. See, for 1 month, forget this tiredness, all those things. See, I am taking class after my duty. I just came from my duty, and after my duty I'm taking class. I did my night duty, I didn't sleep yesterday night, but I'm standing here and taking class for you. Okay, so same way. So see, I'm already I'm having job. Still, I'm doing these things. Yes, it's my profession. It's my another job of taking class coaching. But you also have to do the same thing. You will have a lot of weakness, tired, all those things. But forget all those things for 1 month. For 1 month, forget all those things. Then study. So I'll tell you one example. Like after your duty, you are coming. After your duty, you are coming. You are tired. I know you are tired. But what you have to do, keep if you are using mobile or laptop for our online coaching, or if you are using any books, or if you have your own note or a book in front of you in your room, in your bed, or wherever it is. You should see that the book or the mobile or whatever it is. You should see if it is a laptop, open. If you use a mobile, open that study material, open that video class, whatever it is, it should be opened. So when you pass through you are keeping it in a table. When you pass through, you will see, okay, you will read for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Keep there, go, do your duty. Like you have to wash, you have to clean the room, you have to cook, or you have to call your home, your relatives. Again, come back, read 15 minutes, then take food or whatever it is, then come back like 50 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes. If you do it in 4 interval, you complete 1 hour study. 1 hour study. Initially, you do like that, then it will not be big problem for you to complete 1 hour. In morning also, when you go for duty, 50 minutes, 20 minutes. Like that, you have to find the time. Like that, you have to find the time. Okay, don't think that okay, I will not go for duty. I will take leave. I will sit here and I will study today 5 hours, 6 hours. No, it's not possible. When you start to study the first hour, your concentration power will go down. Now itself, I know many of the your concentration power is down now. But in the starting time, it was high. Now your concentration is going down, down, down. So if you think that okay, if I get 6 hours, I will study this much. No, you cannot. If you get 6 hours, you can study 1 hour or 2 hours. All the other time, your concentration will be down. It will not be effective. But in this way, if you study every day, you can find 1 hour. Okay. You are running out of time. Okay. Pulse. So I told you what pulse deficit, paradoxical pulse. Then water hammer pulse, or Korean pulse, or collapsing pulse. Water hammer pulse. Water hammer pulse, or Korean pulse, or collapsing pulse. Water hammer means, actual the meaning of water hammer means, water hammer, it was a toy, not here, I don't know in India, not here. European countries, they had a water hammer. Maybe we have water hammer, like I can say like a gun, water gun or something like that. I don't know how it should. But water hammer toy was there. So it is like the actual point is that, suppose if you have a hose or big pipe or something, big pipe or something, then water is coming forcefully, then suddenly somebody is locking or closing the way. So suddenly, with high force, water is coming. Suddenly, the force is going down. Again, high force, the water is coming. Then the force is going down. Same way, it happens in water hammer. The water hammer. Same way in your body. Same way in your body, in your blood vessel. Pounding and forceful, rapidly increasing pulse. Pulse means when you have that kind of blood flow through your artery, that time this kind of pulse is generating. So the pulse will be very forceful, rapidly increasing, but suddenly it will collapse. The force, everything will go down. That is water hammer pulse. So pulse, collapsing pulse, water hammer pulse. Three things you have to connect. Somebody saying you water hammer pulse in your mind, okay, water hammer pulse, Korean pulse, collapsing pulse. This water hammer pulse, just connect like pipe. Forceful water is coming very forcefully, suddenly collapsing. Hammer, water is coming forcefully. Same way, the pulse is very bounding, forceful, strong, but suddenly the pulse is becoming what? Collapsing. That is called water hammer pulse, and you can see in aortic regurgitation. Aortic regurgitation. Sometimes question will ask you, Mausmi, thank you for your comment, your video motivators. Thank you. Okay. Please, when you make result, I will become more happy. Okay. Like you do your duty, you prepare. Okay, don't think about the result. People are thinking about the result, but if I fail in the exam, what will happen? Nothing will happen. If you fail in the exam, the next exam will come. Try for that. You are not the first person who is going to fail in the exam. Lot of people failed in exam. I have failed in many exams. Okay, so people, a lot of people, they are not even not applying for the job. I have seen a lot of students, they are not applying. The thing is that they fear failure. They think that, okay, I will fail. If I fail, what will happen? What others will think? What my family will think? So better not to write the exam. I will remain like this. I will stay here. Okay. If you sit in your comfort zone, you will not develop. If you want to develop yourself, if you want to improve your all setups like financial setup, all the background, you have to get a good job. As you do, or as you did nursing, a good job in nursing profession in India, central government job. If you are an engineer, if you are a doctor, when you go and work in private, because you know very well in private sector, like where you can see the best engineers, or best, like IIT, people from IIT, where you can see big, like I'm telling, engineering college. You can see them in big multinational company like Google, TCS. They are private, but they will go there because in private they are getting good salary. So that's why they are going there. You see, like doctors also, and those people who are not that much good at study, what they will do, if like example engineering, they will work in some wherever they get some private, and they will try for railway, they will try for banking. I'm not telling they are not intelligent, but still the intelligent people, they will go in private hospital, so private sector. But in nursing, because in private sector they are giving good salary, but in nursing, good salary you will get only from central government in India. I'm telling, in private sector you will not get good salary. They will give you a lot of work. You have to sacrifice your life. Have you think about your life, your career after 50 years? Do you think they will see, have you seen like staff nurses or nursing officers have like more than 50 years, 60 year, more than 50 year working in hospital? Yes, there is. They may be like superintendent or something, but we all can't become superintendent or something. So when you become old, you cannot work like this. You cannot take this kind of night duty, all those things. And when you go for duty, like if they are giving you 10,000, 12, 20,000, and your age is 50, you have a lot of disease, and can you work like this night duty? No, no. So when there is opportunity, use it. If you get job in Aims also, you have to go for duty when if you are 50 years, but you are getting lot of benefits, getting lot of job salary, good salary. You can settle yourself. So that's why use the opportunity. Don't fear. Don't fear. Mausmi is telling 200 marks. How much? 3,000 they have charged for the exam. Isn't that too much? Last year it was only 1,500. Okay, we're going out of the topic. Okay, anyway, don't think about the money. Okay, don't think about the money. 3,000. We are spending a lot of. It's government policies, and government may do like that. Yeah, it may be not good, but you know you can do two things. You can blame government. You can blame government. Okay, government is taking too much fees. You're doing this. You can blame one thing. Next thing is that you don't think about these policies or those things. You think about yourself. Okay, 3,000. Okay, spend 3,000. We are spending money for long lot of things. Spend money. Then you do like you work for yourself. Spend money. I used to tell students like every month you have to keep like at least 500 or 200 or 500. Keep it for your career. Like you can use it for exam fees. You can use it for traveling. You can use it for study. You can use it for buying books or coaching or whatever it is. So you people, you have to have a fund like education fund with you every month. 500 rupees, keep it. And for it is for exams. Okay, apply all the exams available, all the exams available. 200 marks, how much marks will be help me to select in Norcet? Mouse me is asking. See, I told you, if you can score 65% for especially for females, if you can score 65%, 65%, it's 130 mark, 120 mark, definitely. We don't want to take a risk. Make it 130, 130, 140. If you don't have any reservation or something, you can score 130 mark, definitely. You have to think about the negative mark also. Okay, definitely you will be in North. Okay. Yeah, I saw I just talking something else. Okay. Okay. Then bigeminal pulse. Bigeminal pulse. What is bigeminal pulse? A group of two beats. Like how our pulse will be. The beat will be like one beat. After that, two beat. Like that. Okay. Here, two beat will come together. Tick tick. Like how many pulse? Tick and tick, then tick. Okay, right? Two beat will come together. That is bigeminal. Bigeminal. After that, long pause. Just tick tick, then long pause. After that, will start tick tick or tick tick like that. So bigeminal pulse, two pulse coming together. Bigeminal, by two, try three. Okay. Where you can see in heart failure, cardiac component, hypovolemic shock. Bigeminal pulse you can see in heart failure, cardiac component, then hypovolemic shock. Pulse alterness. Pulse alterness is a physical finding with arterial pulse form showing in alternative strong and weak beats. So if you see the arterial pulse waveform, now there is lot of monitor. There are a lot of monitor to see how the pulse is going on. Okay, same like oximeter. Um, on oximeter like the cardiac monitor. So you can see the pulse waveform. If when you check the pulse waveform, you can see alternative strong, then weak, alternative strong and weak beats. So when there is strong beat and weak beat, strong beat and weak beat, like that, if pulse is coming, it's called as pulse alternance. Okay, so regarding pulse, hope I covered the different type of pulse. Next coming breath sound. Breath sound. I hope we are crossing the limit, like a time limit. Still, I will continue because it's very important. We have to finish. We have only 30 days in front of you. Okay. Those people who are watching me online and who are going to watch this class later in YouTube or in this, if you want to join our craft course, okay, it's better to join early. Okay. Because a lot of students they are thinking, I have experience. Like a lot of students, they will think that okay, I'm not yet decided whether I will join the coaching. Sorry, I will write the exam. Some people they are thinking, okay, I will apply for the exam. Let the whole ticket come. After whole ticket come or admit card come, I will try. Suppose if I join the coaching and if I'm not getting that, like that people are thinking negative thinking. If you and they will join last time, they will come and join last time. If you start that preparation earlier, definitely it will help you. You are spending money for coaching and you are joining last time. See, it's a waste for you. So if you are planning to start, it will not become like start earlier. Start earlier. Definitely it will help for you for many kind of exams. Okay. So breath sound. Breath sound means what? I'm taking breath. Okay. When you go to see a doctor, doctor will put the stethoscope. Okay. Then he will auscultate breath sound. Doctor will say, breathe deeply, breathe normally, breathe, hold your breath like that. So they are checking the breath sound. Breath sound. Okay. So the first breath sound, I'm telling about normal breath sound. There is abnormal breath sound, and sometimes there will be absence of breath sound. Okay, decrease the breath sound, etc. So I'm talking about now normal breath sound. Normal breath sound, first one is vesicular. This is the major normal breath sound. So in exam, somebody is asking you, what is the normal, major normal breath sound is vesicular. Means you can see, you can hear this sound in all over all the part, almost all the part of the lungs. Okay. So it's a soft and low pitched because normal breath sound is soft and low pitch. It is high pitch and hard sound. Normally you will tell it's not normal breath sound. So normal breath sound always soft and low pitch. So easy to study, right? No need to study soft and low pitch, soft and low. No, no. Just think, okay, normal means soft. It will be soft and it will be low pitch, right? It's a major normal breath sound, where you can see almost all the part of the lungs, almost over most of the lungs. Okay. If you check here, if you check here, if you check here, if you check backside, almost over the all the parts of the lungs, if you check, you will get this sound that is called vesicular sound. Second is a bronchial. Bronchial. This is also normal. Bronchial is also normal. Where you will get a bronchial. Bronchial, as the name indicates, bronchus. Bronchus. It means from trachea and this high pitched and loud. Loud. So vesicular is soft and low pitched. but a bronchial is loud and high pitched, but it is normal. Okay. Main stem and bronchi. Okay, you can see the main stem of the bronchus and bronchi you can hear, and trachea also you can hear the sound. But suppose if you hear this sound any other part, if you hear this sound when you put auscultate trachea, bronchus, if you hear this sound, it's normal. But if you check, if you get the same, if you get this sound in other parts of the body, other parts means other parts of the lungs or respiratory system, it means it's abnormal. Like we have to check, or we have to think about consolidation. Consolidation means there is some type of blockage, secretion, something. So bronchial sound should, when you check this trachea and bronchus, you have to get bronchial sound. It's a loud and high pitched. But when you check other parts of the lungs, not the trachea, other parts of the lung or respiratory system, you have to get what sound? You have to get vesicular sound. It's very soft and low pitched. Third, this is also normal, broncho-vesicular. This is also normal, broncho-vesicular. What is broncho-vesicular? It's a mix. I can say it's like mix where you will get in first and second intercostal space. When you check, when you auscultate, first mainly in the anterior part. When you check first and second intercostal space, you will get a sound. It's called broncho-vesicular. So bronchial is a normal sound. If you get in trachea, all those things. The vesicular is also normal sound, and broncho-vesicular also normal sound. Where you will hear this broncho-vesicular, the first and second intercostal space. Also, you can get in between scapula. Between scapula, the posterior part of the chest, you will get between the scapula. You will get also you will get in the first and second intercostal space. Okay, so normal sounds I told you. Next, I will tell you abnormal sound like adventitious breath sound. Abnormal sound. Okay. Okay. Abnormal sound. Adventitious breath sound like abnormal sound I'm going to tell you. Crackles, otherwise called rails. Crackles or rails. So when you hear crackles, you have to remember like it's like some fluid accumulated there, like that. Okay. If it is difficult for you to remember, if it is difficult for you to remember, please by heart it or read it several times. Crackles or rails. A non-musical sound. It is not like a musical sound. So when you in your short note you write musical sound, non-musical sound. In the non-musical sound you write crackers. It's not a musical sound. Crackers. Definitely it will not be like crackers, like crack sound. Okay, it will not be like a musical sound. And crackers will be fine crackers and coarse crackers. Fine means high pitched and soft. Coarse means low pitched and louder. Okay, like okay, louder sound. Okay, so crackles. Okay, you got why this crackle is occurring or coming sound? Because if there is a secretion in the airway, if there is a moving secretion like fluid, if fluid is going through a pipe or something, so there will be sound like bubbling sound. I can say bubbling or rattling. So this will create crackles. So when there is secretion, so if crackle is there, think about secretion. Crackle, I get crackle sound. Don't think what how it will be the crackle sound. For some purpose, you just think okay, crackles. Crackle is not a non-musical sound. It's a non-musical sound. Then crackles may be fine and coarse. Then when there is secretion, some fluid, secretion is moving in the airway. It means there is a secretion. Crackles. Okay. 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 You can see in bronchitis, in bronchitis, inflammation is there in the bronchus. Inflammation in the sense secretion. So definitely there will be crackles. Then asthma also, asthma. The pulmonary edema. In pulmonary edema also there will be accumulation of fluid. So if there is, when there is fluid, there will be crackles. When there is fluid, there will be crackles. So crackers, one thing you studied. Abnormal sound. Wheezing. Wheezing. Whenever you hear the word wheezing, two things. Wheezing is like a hissing sound or whistling sound or musical sound. Then asthma. Asthma. Wheezing, when you hear wheezing, wheezing, whistling, hissing, musical, then asthma. Relate now, right? Because when the airway is becoming narrow, when the airway will become narrow, then through a narrow part when air is going, then you can see this whistling or hissing. Okay, so wheezing will occur when there is a narrowing of the airway. So in asthma, asthma and COPD, there will be narrowing. COPD and asthma, there will be narrowing of airway. Okay, wheezing. Read it, watch it, study it 2 to 3 times. Definitely, you will be able to. Okay. So I discussed rails. I discussed the rails and crackers. I discussed the wheezing. Now wrong guy. What is wrong? Wrong guy also musical sound. So I told you non-musical. I told you what is a rails or crackers. Wrong guy also musical sound. It is similar to wheezing, like snoring. Similar to wheezing or snoring. Wrong guy similar to wheezing or snoring. In COPD, I can see. So when I study, if I am a student, when I study, I'll study like wheezing and wrong-eye, almost like similar. Wheezing and wrong-eye is almost like similar. Wheezing, there will be like a whistling sound, but in wrong-eye, it will be like whistling or snoring sound. And in COPD, I can hear the wheezing sound. In wrong-eye also, I can hear the in COPD also I can hear the wrong case sound. Strider. Next is strider. What is strider? Strider is a vibratory sound. Vibratory sound. When I say strider, just try the word strider. You will feel a vibration. Strider. So strider is a vibratory sound, and mainly you can see strider in foreign body obstruction, laryngitis, foreign body obstruction. In these kind of things, you can hear strider. Okay. One more points I'm telling. I told you if you study important topics, you can cover. If you study important topics, you can cover 80% of the questions easily. Okay, what is cavernous breath sound? Cavernous breath sound means it's like you are blowing over a bottle. When you throw a bottle, if you blow, like when you blow, there will be some type of sound. That sound is called as cavernous breath sound. Okay. Next comes another important things. Types of respiration. Now I told you different types of breath sound, type of respiration. Some people will breathe normally. It's normal breathing. What we will call for normal breathing? For normal breathing, we will call eupnea. Right? If there is a abnormal absence of breathing, or if the respiratory rate is less than like 3, I think, I will tell apnea or absence of breathing. Absence of breathing, apnea. Normal breathing, eupnea. Okay. So orthopnea. What is orthopnea? Orthopnea means ortho. Ortho. Okay. When you can breathe easily or normally when you are in a sitting position. Breathe only in sitting position. When you are in a sitting position, you can breathe. That is called orthopnea. In emphysema, COPD, you can see patient will sit like if they sit in the upright position or in sitting position, they can breathe. That is called orthopnea. Orthopnea means they can breathe when they are in a sitting position. Small breathing, very important. Small breathing. And they will ask you. Sometimes they will give the explanation of the breathing. they will tell you rapid gasping and very deep type of labored breathing is called as what? So small type of respiration, see, is rapid and very labored. Is called labored, difficult, labored, like gasping, but rapid. It's called small breathing. Small breathing, okay. Normal breathing, you know. Now I told you small breathing. How? There will be labored breathing, very rapid, labored breathing, commonly called as air hunger. Very, very important, air hunger. So small breathing, otherwise called as air hunger. It's like you have you are thirst or hunger for air. Okay. You are begging for air hunger. Okay. I see mainly metabolic acidosis and diabetes ketoacidosis. Very, very important point. Several times this question asked. So in metabolic acidosis or diabetes ketoacidosis, if you see diabetes ketoacidosis or metabolic acidosis patient, in their body there will be acid level is more. Acid level more meaning when the carbon dioxide is more in someone body, okay, or acid is more in their body, so automatically they will try to, they will try to remove the acid from. So as a result, they will do this kind of, breathing. So in metabolic acidosis and diabetes ketoacidosis, sorry, in metabolic acidosis and diabetes ketoacidosis, you can see a small type of breathing. Okay, 2 point I tell you, a small type of breathing is very rapid and labored breathing. Okay, remember this point. Very deep and labored breathing, rapid, small breathing. You can see in metabolic acidosis and diabetes ketoacidosis or DKA. I will connect to one more point. Small sign. Small sign. It's not related to breathing. Like a small sign. Small sign means during inspiration. When I take during inspiration, when I take a breathe, that time my JVP, jugular venous pressure, JVP also increasing. It is called small signs. Okay, small sign indicate there is a right heart problem, right heart dysfunction. So Kussmaul breathing I told you, Kussmaul sign I told you. Kussmaul sign, what is Kussmaul sign? Increase in JVP. Increase in JVP during when I'm taking breath, inspiration. Okay. Inspiration, uh, inspiration, the JVP is increasing. Mouse is asking, Strider, you don't understand, right? Strider means if you have foreign body obstruction, something is obstructed in your airway, foreign body obstruction, or if you have laryngitis, inflammation of the larynx, or edema of the larynx. So what will happen when you take a breath? When you take breath, the air will not go properly because there is obstruction, foreign body obstruction, maybe food items or whatever it is. So when you take breath, there will be a vibratory sound, vibration. So vibratory sound will be there. This is called as strider. This vibratory sound is called as strider. So easy to remember strider. When you say strider, you can feel a vibratory feeling. So easily you can connect strider, vibratory sound. Okay, right, like that. Small sign I told you. Okay. Tachypnea and bradypnea. If your breathing rate, the breathing rate is more than 20. Normal breath is what? Normal breath rate is what? Respiration is 12 to 20, 12 to 20, right? And so if the breath rate is per minute more than 20, okay, more than 20, we will call it as tachypnea. It will be like a rapid shallow breathing. Okay, rapid shallow breathing. See, rapid but not deep breathing, shallow breathing. This is tachypnea. Bradypnea means what? The breathing rate is less than 12. Okay, below 12, bradypnea. So tachypnea, bradypnea. You know what is tachypnea? You know what is bradypnea? You know what is normal respiration? You know what is apnea? You know what is Kussmaul type of respiration? You know what is Kussmaul sign? and this is a deep breath. Tachypnea means tachypnea. I am not doing in small sign. What is the small sign? I am taking labored breathing, rapidly taking labored breathing. Like, this is labored breathing. Okay, you can hear sound also. Okay, so hyperventilation. You got hyperventilation. You got what is tachypnea. You got what is bradypnea. Next important, chain stalk breathing. Chain stalk breathing, also called as periodic breathing. Sometimes they will tell you periodic breathing. Okay. Periodic breathing. They will tell you periodic breathing. They will not tell you chain stalk breathing. Or other name of chain stalk breathing. It's periodic breathing. Easy. Okay. In chain stalk breathing, what is chain stalk breathing? Tachypnea and apnea. Tachypnea. How is a tachypnea? I told you. Apnea. Apnea means a pause, no breathing. Tachypnea, apnea. Tachypnea, apnea. Tachypnea, apnea. Like chain stalk breathing. In chain stalk breathing only apnea is coming in between. In control breathing there is no apnea, but here there is will be apnea in between. And you can see this chain stalk breathing. If there is damage to pons, if there is a damage to pons, like if your central nervous system or your brain, if there is a damage, if your pons are damaged, because there the respiratory centers are located. So you can see, so chain stalk breathing, otherwise called periodic breathing, like periods, different episode. Tachypnea, apnea, tachypnea, apnea, tachypnea, apnea. So mainly you can see there is when there is problems for your respiratory center, especially pons. Biots breathing. It's called as cluster breathing or ataxic breathing. See, all these breathing name and you may forget. So that's why I tell you, read today after this class. Read the study material from our website. You can download the study material. You can read it. Then you have to read it later also. 3-4 times you have to see these things. So easily you will be able to remember. Biots breathing, otherwise called as cluster breathing, important. Cluster breathing or ataxic breathing. Cluster breathing or ataxic breathing. What is the other name of chain stalk breathing? It's periodic breathing. Okay. Here, quick, shallow inspirations followed by regular or irregular period of apnea. So here also there will be like apnea, but it is not regular. In Biots breathing, it will not be like apnea will not be like regular or irregular, but quick, shallow inspirations. So that is Biots breathing, regular or irregular, like breathing, then apnea be apnea or may not be apnea, then breathing like that. But in bios in chain stalk breathing, there will be tachypnea, breathing, then apnea, breathing, apnea, breathing, apnea. It's regularly it will come, but here it will not be regular. Okay, it may be regular, irregular, like apnea. Okay. So in bios breathing also apnea coming, but it is not regularly coming. Here in bios breathing, uh, brainstem. Okay, but brainstem, cervical spine injury, all those things. Comes pulse pressure. Next comes pulse pressure. Okay, pulse pressure. What is pulse pressure? Difference between systolic and diastolic pressure is called as pulse pressure. Very, very easy. Normal pulse pressure is 30 to 50 millimeter. Patient was sleeping. Suddenly he was in sitting or standing position. So what will happen? BP will fall down. Systolic BP maybe fall down 3 millimeter of mercury and diastolic BP 10 millimeter of mercury. It's like when patient is standing for 3 minutes, suddenly patient wake up and stand for 3 minutes or within 3 minutes. Suddenly patient BP is going down. Systolic is going down 20, diastolic is going down 10. Then he will tell us orthostatic hypotension. There is orthostatic hypertension also. Okay. Like there are some people in some conditions, what will happen when patient will pheochromocytoma, example pheochromocytoma. When patient will start, that time their BP will increase. That is called orthostatic hypertension. But orthostatic hypotension means fall in systolic BP 20, that you have to mention 20 millimeter of mercury systolic, or diastolic 10 millimeter of mercury. This is called orthostatic hypotension. You can use a tilt test or a table tilt test to assess the orthostatic hypotension. The test is used a tilt test or table tilt test or tilt table test. Tilt table test. Then cuff size. When you check BP, it's very important. When you check BP, you know the BP cuff, right? The BP cuff. It should be up in appropriate size. You cannot use the child BP cuff for an adult, or you cannot use the adult BP cuff for a child. Okay. So the width should be 40%. Width should be 40% and length should be 80% of the arm circumference. Suppose if you are taking or if you want to select a BP cup for me, you have to check what is my arm circumference. Not, normally we are not checking, but ideally it should be like you will check the arm circumference, and the width of the cuff should be 40% of my arm circumference, and length of the BP cuff should be 80% of my arm circumference. Okay, 40, 80. Length is 80, width is 40. If you use a big BP cuff, what will happen? If you use a BP cuff, like if you use for an adult, if you for an adult, you use a small BP cuff. Small BP cuff, what will happen? Small BP cuff, what will happen? If you use a small BP cuff, the reading will be high. The reading will be high. And for small people, if you use a big BP cuff, the reading will be sorry. It's opposite. It's opposite. Um, like okay, the point is like that. For a BP cuff, you are using a BP cuff. Okay. If the BP cuff, if you attach very tightly, if you attach the BP cuff very tightly, then what will happen? The BP will show the BP will show less reading, low reading, and if you attach the BP cuff, loosely, if you attach the BP cuff loosely, false high reading will be shown. Okay, so false high reading will be shown if you use the BP cuff. If you use the BP cuff, if you tight the BP cuff loosely, what will happen? False high reading will be you will get false high BP. False high BP you will get. Okay, that was the point I was telling. Okay, types of consent. Types of consent. Almost we will finish a 2-hour class. Implied or tacit consent. So what is consent? Consent is consent in the sense, okay, when you are going for a hospital, for several procedures, you have to give consent, or you have to, or as a nurse, you have to take consent. So implied or tacit consent means, okay, example. I'll tell you some example, because the question will be like they will give you some example. They will ask you what type of consent needed in this situation, like that. Okay, or if I tell you some example, it is easy for you to understand. Okay, easy for you to understand. Mouse is telling false high BP. False high BP if you use loosely if you attach. Then implied or tacit means see, you are going to see a doctor, you took an appointment, or you are going to an emergency, you are going to an OPD. So you are taking an appointment or you are going in hospital, it means that you have to get some treatment. You want some treatment. That's why you are going there, right? So already there is a consent that you already agreed that okay, I want the treatment, I want to see the doctor, I want to undergo some physical exam, I want to undergo history collection. Doctor can ask me something, doctor can prescribe me something. Okay, so this kind of consent already you have given. No need to write anywhere, no need to give the permission or nothing in this sense, because you are taking appointment because you want to see the doctor, so already you have given consent. Is by default consent is there when you are taking appointment or when you are going to hospital. It means you have already given consent for lot of things. So this is called implied or tacit. So this consent is included when you are going to see a doctor or when you are taking an appointment. It's implied or tacit. Informed consent. Informed consent means in some situations, the doctor or nurse has to inform the patient several things, like we are going to give you this medicine, or we are going to do this kind of procedure, like physical examination, some sort of physical exam, or some kind of physical examination, or sometime you have to inform regarding some drug, its side effects, how to use it, all those things. You have to inform the patient. So this is called informed consent. Inform. You are giving information. You will inform all those things. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But in these things, no need to write and give, or no need to get signature or something. You will inform. So from the name itself, informed consent means implied or tacit means by default the consent is already there. No need to take special consent or something. Expressed consent. In some situations you have to get consent in different form, like oral and written form. Oral and written, like in some situation patient has to give you consent, express consent. Implied or informed consent. Suppose one patient is there in your OPD, you will tell, okay, I'm going to give you these medicines, I'm going to do this kind of physical examination. You will not tell the patient, okay, write here, sign here. No, you will just inform, that's all. But some situation, in some like major procedures, in some like a type of major procedures, like some surgery or those things. So in that case, you have to get consent from the orally. You have to get, okay. Sometime patient will tell orally, okay, yes, yes, sir, I agreed. Okay, better if there is some witness or somebody is there. In some case, you have to get in writing. Yes, sir, I am ready. Okay, I agreed for this procedure. I agreed for this surgery. That is called expressed consent. Means patient is expressing, giving written or oral. That is expressed consent. Informed, I told you what is simple. You are informed. Implied, I told you. Advanced consent is like before death. Advanced consent, like okay, I'm giving consent for donating my eye or donating my kidney, all those things before that I'm giving some consent. It is called advance consent. Advance consent. If something happened for me after my death, I'm giving for this. This is called advance for death. Surrogate consent. Surrogate consent means family, like parents. Parents are giving consent. Suppose if the child is minor, mainly you cannot give consent if your age is below 12 years. Okay, ideally it's 12 years, but normally we will not consider like 12 years. 16 or 18 we will consider. Below 16 we consider as minor, but ideally in the rule says above 12 you can, below 12 only you have to get the consent from the family. Rule says, but we will use to take before if the child is below 16. So surrogate consent means family, parents are giving consent. because the child is um, child is minor. And proxy consent, so surrogate from the word surrogate mother, all those things you have heard. Surrogate, expressed, informed, implied. Then proxy consent means suppose one patient is came to you, and the patient is unconscious, or patient is cannot cannot give uh, the consent. So the people who are with them, like police or some people, those people can also give consent. That is called proxy consent. Means the patient cannot give the consent. Patient is unconscious or mentally having some problem. In the sense that the nearby people can give consent. That is called proxy consent. So these are the consent, and consent will be valid only if the patient is mentally healthy. Otherwise, the consent is not valid. And in some situation, no need to take consent, like when police is bringing jail. Um, in some cases, in emergency cases, no need to get the consent. So these are the different type of consent. So today we have discussed mainly vital signs, then consent. Okay. Tomorrow I will be discussing the other point, like main tomorrow class is very important. Tomorrow I will be discussing your calculation, fluid calculation, acidosis and alkalosis, then CPR, all those important. Today your duty is after 1 hour for the new students. There will be test 2, fundamental of nursing questions. Test 2 will be available. Test 2, just check after 1 hour. Test 2 for old students, those who are already in our online coaching. Open the website, or those who's joined our regular coaching, 3,500 rupees coaching. Okay, regular coaching, just go to the course list, content list. You can see test 2 in that thing. Okay, in the contents you can see the test 2. If you already attended this exam, no problem, again you attend the same exam. Okay, as I said to you yesterday, okay, first time when you attend, you know, not be able to score 100%. No problem. Whatever you make, no problem. But after attending the exam, check the answer key. After checking the answer key, again attend the exam. The second or third time when you attend, you have to get 100%. And if possible, send the screenshot your score would be better. So today you have to attend test 2. Then 2 assignment I am going to give you. 2 assignments. Study material. In the study material, if you check, you can see normal lab value. You read and study this normal lab value. Then I have given positions. Positions, different type of position, and positions, different type of position is used in which type of procedures. Okay, so positions, you can see how, like, how will be used supine position. Supine position will be used for which procedures, or in which situation, like prone position, all those things. So positions you have to read, lab value you have to read, you have to read okay, sutures, different type of sutures I have given. Sutures, okay, these 3 things. So you have to read the topics I discussed today. Then extra you have to read lab value, different type of positions and sutures, and you have to do this test 2, and you have to send me the screenshot. Those people who would like to join our coaching, better to join earlier. 1 month coaching, 1,500. Those people who would like to join, they can message me, or they can visit www.neuronnursingacademy.com, or just WhatsApp me. Only WhatsApp 73561828880. Okay. So thank you for attending the class. Next tomorrow class. Tomorrow class will be at 6 o'clock evening, 6 p.m. Okay. Tomorrow class will be 6 p.m. Okay, they will be giving you notification through WhatsApp. 6 p.m. will be the class. Okay, um, use your time properly, study properly. Uh, Priyanshu is telling biots. You want to repeat biots breathing, right? Okay. Biots breathing is called as cluster breathing or ataxic breathing. Okay, another name. Okay. Here in biots breathing, there will be quick, shallow breath inspirations. Quick, shallow inspiration, and in between apnea will come. But apnea is not coming regularly. See, in chain stroke respiration, regularly apnea will come. Regularly. Like there will be breathing, then apnea, then breathing, then apnea, then breathing, then apnea. But here apnea may be regular or irregular. May become, maybe may not become like that. Okay, that is called Biot's breathing. And Biot's breathing, when there is cervical spine injury or lesion to brain stem, especially medulla, you can see this kind of Biot's breathing. So when somebody say you Biot's breathing, you have to remember 3 4 things. Biot's breathing, other name is cluster breathing or ataxic breathing. Here also apnea is coming in between breathing, apnea will come, but the apnea is not coming regularly. There's no pattern. Okay, but apnea is coming and going. Okay, and mainly when there is a lesion to brainstem, especially medulla cervical spine injury, then mm, you can see this thing. Okay, okay. Mm, so this is for today's class, and I'll be taking class tomorrow, 6 p.m. Okay. Thank you for joining the class. Appreciate all of you for attending the class. And if any of your friends or someone is interested, you can refer them and you can share this link, this free class to them. Okay, this free class will be available only. Coming few classes will be only available. After that, it will not be available free. Only for the students, those who joined our coaching, they will get the class. Thank you. See, as students are attending from different parts, like we have students from South India, we have students from North India. So that's why we are taking class in English. If you cannot follow, I think you can follow. You cannot follow, or if you are not able to understand a certain concept or something, you can WhatsApp me. You can ask me if you have any doubt regarding studies. You can message me in any questions. You can message me whenever I get time, or when I'll be free. I will check all the comment, all the message, and I will send you the you know the I mean solutions, answer everything. I will send you. Okay. Thank you for joining the class. Okay. Anything to ask, you can message me.